Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. We were in the red last night. I went 3-4, minus 0.76 units, I think it was. Hate being in the red, our first losing night since last Thursday. But just like my winning days, I need to put that right into the past and move on to the next one. 10 NBA games tonight. We are loaded with action. Let's dive in.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
First up, Denver's on the road in Washington to play the Wizards. It's a 7 p.m. start. This total opens up at 228. Line opens up Washington +7. This line drops down to 6.5 last night for a couple hours, but it comes back up to 7. We're still at 7 now. Action's pretty split even on this one. Maybe sharp money slightly leaning Denver, but not much at all. So let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Washington +6.37. So maybe a very, very slight lean on the Wizards. Pretty much nothing there. It's crazy to see how far this Wizards team has fallen. If you rewind just 3 weeks ago, the Wizards went 10-4 in a 14-game stretch. They took the 10 seed from Chicago, and it was looking like the Wizards were going to be a tough out in the play-in tournament. Since March 1st, the Washington Wizards are just 3-8. Efficiency-wise, they're 25th on offense, 27th on defense. It looks ugly. I thought last night was a good spot for them to take one more shot and show us they're going to make a run at this 10 seed. They didn't show up. They got beat up by the Magic. In the month of March, the Wizards are just 26th protecting the basket and 30th against the three-point shot. Dead last. Doesn't even make sense because this team was playing decent perimeter defense a couple months ago. They're the worst in the month of March. I know Denver's looked shaky recently, and I know they only beat the Nets by 6 last game, but I watched that entire game. They dominated that game. They controlled that game start to finish. At the end, they took their foot off the gas a little, and the Nets crawled back into it, but that game, that was a dominant victory by Denver. I know 7's a lot of points to lay on the road with a team that hasn't been the best on the road this year. But I can't back the Wizards right now, and I think Denver's kind of back, so I'm going to roll with the Nuggets. So let's head over to OddsJam, see what kind of value we can get on this Denver bet. And it looks like we can get the hook right here. Denver -6.5 at -115 on BetMGM. Let's lock that in. I also like Denver team total over, so let's go to team total. And it looks like we got Denver team total over 117.5 at -105 on Fox Bet. Let's lock that in as well. New York Knicks are down in South Beach to play the Heat. This is a 7:30 p.m. start. Total opens up at 220, and this line opens up Miami -2. This line's still at 2 on most books. It dropped down to 1.5 for a while, for a few hours, but it came back up. Public is all over the Knicks here. As of right now, the New York Knicks are the most public play on the board today. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Miami +1.34. So we're looking at about a 3.5 point lean on the Knicks. So the Knicks are 24-12 against the spread on the road this year. Best road against the spread record in the NBA. They're also 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 on the road, so they have not cooled off. Want to know who has the worst record against the spread in the NBA this season at home? Yep. The Miami Heat, just 12-24-1 against the spread at home, dead last in the NBA. So against the spread wise, you have the team with the best road record on the road against the team with the worst home record. Check this out. So we're looking at Knicks Heat. You would think this would be a defensive basketball game, right? Well, actually, look at these teams' numbers since March. This is since March 1st, right? Knicks offense 4th, Knicks defense 17th. Heat offense 9th. Heat defense just 25th. Now, both teams have played difficult schedules in that span, so these numbers might be a bit off. But if we're looking at an offensive game and you're asking me to choose offense versus offense, I'm rolling with the Knicks, man. With Brunson at point, this offense has been great. I know this line still being at 2, despite the public being heavy on the Knicks, is worrisome. It worries me too. But here's the thing. Miami's 12-24-1 against the spread at home this year. That means the books have been getting cooked with the Miami Heat at home all season. So yeah, it looks like they like the Heat here, but they've liked the Heat in a lot of spots and gotten beat. So I'm riding with my guys. I'm riding with New York. Let's go Knicks. So let's head over to OddsJam, see if we can snag some value, and check it out. We're getting the hook again. We can get Knicks +2.5 on BetMGM again. -115. Let's lock it in. Next game. Indiana Pacers up in Canada to play the Raps. It's a 7:30 p.m. start. Total opens up at 234, and this line opens up Toronto -9. Line drops down to 8 for a little bit, couple hours, and comes back up to 9. That's where it is now. Public actually likes the Pacers here, both the tickets and the handle, slightly leading Indiana. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Toronto -12.34. So despite this big number at 9, we're still looking at a 3.5 point lean on the Raps. The Raptors have now won 7 straight home games, 7 wins in a row at home. And look at their last 3. They beat the Nuggets by 15, they beat the Thunder by 17, and they beat the T-Wolves by 15. 3 dominant double-digit victories against 3 good teams. Indiana is not a good team. Couple injury question marks here. Tyrese Halliburton is questionable, so we don't know if he's going to return for Indiana. I read something this morning that made me think he's not going to play, but we'll see. Scotty Barnes is questionable for the Raptors. Pacers opponents in the month of March are shooting 53.0% from mid-range. 53% from the floor from mid-range. That's dead last in the NBA, 30th. In fact, second place is just 50.9%. So they're dead last by a solid margin. Toronto loves shooting the mid-range shot. The Pacers defense should have no answer for this Raptors offense. I'm on Toronto here now. I'm waiting this one out because those 2 injury question marks scare me, but I'm almost definitely going to be on the Raptors side. So let's head over to OddsJam, see if we can snag some value. Looks like we can get Toronto -9 on several books, and our best value is going to be on Barstool. Toronto -9 at -109 next game. Golden State on the road in Dallas to play the Mavs for a 7:30 p.m. start. Total opens up at 232. Line opens up Dallas +1.5. This line eventually moves up to 2, so we're now looking at Dallas +2. Public is pretty split even, but sharp money definitely on Golden State. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Dallas -0.49, so we're looking at about a 2.5 point lean on the Mavs. Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, Tim Hardaway Jr. all questionable for Dallas, so I can't place a bet for this right now. I will say I definitely want to bet Dallas, and I'm probably going to be on Dallas either way. Luka has absolutely owned Golden State in the regular season over the last few years. He's 10-2 in his last 12 against the Warriors, so if he plays, I'll definitely be betting Dallas. Combine that with the fact that Golden State's perimeter defense on the road has been absolutely awful. Teams are just having 3-point parties on the Warriors when they're on the road. Dallas is second in the NBA in 3-point frequency since March 1st, second to only the Boston Celtics. So it's a perfect matchup for the Mavs at home here. That being said, I'm waiting it out because if Luka, Kyrie, and Tim Hardaway Jr. are all ruled out, we could probably get like Dallas +9.5 or something crazy. So let's wait it out. I'm definitely not betting the Warriors, most likely betting Dallas, but I'm waiting it out for a while. I know I said I'm going to wait on this one, but if you want to bet it now, you could still get Dallas +3 right here at -110 on PointsBet. So you're getting the hook there. So you might be able to, if you think Luka's going to play, I would bet it now. I personally am going to wait it out though. Next game. Update, right after I recorded that, Luka Doncic is now listed as probable. So it looks like Luka's going to play. Let's go Mavs. Obviously, I really want Kyrie and Hardaway Jr. to play too because I think outside shooting's huge, but I'm on the Mavs. Let's do it. Atlanta's on the road in Minnesota to play the T-Wolves. This is an 8 p.m. start. This total opens up at 229, and this line opens up Minnesota -4.5. Action is all over Minnesota here. Public is loving the T-Wolves in this one. Line never moves a muscle, though. We're still looking at Minnesota -4.5. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Minnesota -6.42. So we're looking at what? 2-point lean on the T-Wolves. I can't give it a bet for this one yet. Karl Anthony Towns is back, which is dope. Cat's back. But Anthony Edwards is questionable, and DeJounte Murray is also questionable for Atlanta. 2 huge pieces. I'm 99.9% going to be on the Hawks, though. Minnesota has been terrible as home favorites. They are 7-15 against the spread as home favorites this year. That's 29th in the NBA. Only the Miami Heat are worse in this spot. So I'm on Atlanta here, but if DeJounte Murray is out and Anthony Edwards is in, we could probably get Atlanta at like +7.5, +8. So I'm going to wait it out, but I will not be laying the points with Minnesota, definitely. I'm on the Hawks. So I know I said I'm waiting this one out, but if you want to bet it now, check out on OddsJam. You can get Atlanta +4.5 at -105 on Bet365. So that's going to be your best option if you want to bet this one right now. Next game. Update, DeJounte Murray is out. Sucks a little bit. I still like the Hawks, though. Still on the Hawks. Looks like we can get an extra point now. You can get Atlanta +5.5 at -115 on BetMGM. That's our best bet right now. Sixers are on the road in Chicago trying to get revenge against a Bulls team that just beat them. This is an 8 p.m. start. Total opens up at 222, and this line opens up Chicago +3.5. We got a roller coaster line in this one. It drops down to 2.5, then comes back up to 3.5, then drops down to 3. Now it's back up to 3.5 again. Not much data in as far as where the action is, but public seems to be on film. So let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Chicago +5.75. So we're looking at a 2.5 point lean on the Sixers. I don't care how public it is. I don't care if it's super square. I'm on Philly here. I'm betting the split. Chicago got them the other night. Philly gets their revenge here. That being said, I'm definitely not betting this game right now. James Harden and PJ Tucker both listed as questionable. I'm not trying to lay 3.5 points on the road against a red hot Bulls team without those 2 pieces. So another one that I'm waiting out, but let's head over to OddsJam, see where the value is right now. And it looks like our best bet's going to be Philly -3 at -113 on Barstool. So if you're betting this one right now, I would hit that up. Next game. Houston Rockets on the road in Memphis to play the Grizzlies. We got an 8 p.m. start. Total opens up at 225, and this line opens up Memphis minus 13.5. Line does touch 14 last night, but actually it's all the way down to 12.5 now. Public is all over Memphis. Everyone's betting the Grizzlies here. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Memphis minus 2.97, so heavy lean on the Rockets, but my model always heavily leans the Rockets. I think I'm going to pass on this one. The Rockets have been playing much better. They're 5-5 straight up in their last 10. They're playing 500 basketball. And they're catching 13 points. In their last 10 games, you want to know how many times the Rockets were beaten by more than 13 points? Just once. So I'm definitely not laying the points with Memphis. Oh, Ja Morant and Sengun are both questionable. So Ja Morant might be returning for Memphis. Sengun questionable for the Rockets. That'd be a huge loss. I forgot to mention that. So I'm definitely not laying the points with Memphis. If anything, maybe a few dollars on Houston plus the points, but I think there's a good chance I skip this one. So let's head over to OddsJam, see what kind of value we can get. And look, we're still getting this at 13.5 on Fox Bet. So you know what? I'm going to bet this one. It'll be a small bet. Give me Houston plus 13.5 light. Minus 110 on Fox Bet next game. Spurs are up north in Milwaukee to play the Bucks for an 8 p.m. start. This total opens up 232, and this line opens up, ready for this? Milwaukee minus 17.5. Check this out. This line actually moves up. It's up to Milwaukee minus 18 now, and the action is still coming in on the Bucks. Let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Milwaukee minus 9.83. So obviously 8-point lean on the Spurs, but they got some injury concerns. We'll get to that in a sec. I actually just decided I really don't want to spend any time talking about this game. It's an 18-point spread. I will say that Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, and Zach Collins all set to return to the lineup for the Spurs. So I'm going to take the points. I'm going to bet it, but my reasoning is more, I just don't think I can lay 18 points in an NBA game. That's pretty much my reasoning for it. It won't be a heavy bet, but I'm on San Antonio. So I'm doing it. I'm betting it. Let's head over to OddsJam, see what our best Spurs bet here is. And we can get the full 18. Spurs plus 18 at minus 108 on Barstool. So I'm going to lock it in. Spurs plus 18 next game.
Update, Trey Jones is out. He was listed as probable. Now he's out. But like I said before, I'm only taking the Spurs because this number's insane. I welcome you to not tail this bet.
Portland on the road in Utah for a 9 p.m. start. This total opens up 232, and this line opens up Utah minus 1.5. This line's been on the move. It actually gets as high as Utah minus 6. But you can see a bunch of sharp action comes in on Portland when it hits 6, and it scares the books down to 4.5. This is looking like a pros versus public setup. Public definitely on Utah. Sharp money definitely on Portland. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet, and according to the model, the line for this game should be Utah minus 13.04, so an 8.5-point lean on the Jazz. That just shows you how bad the Blazers have been analytically recently. Portland is just in a tailspin right now. They've now lost 6 straight. They lost 6 straight games. They're 5-14 in their last 19. And in this one, both Simons and Jeremy Grant are both out. Just things aren't looking great for the Blazers. And here's another angle I like. Okay, Jeremy Grant and Simons are out, right? Who's going to get a big chunk of those minutes? Matisse Thybulle, Cam Reddish. 2 guys who, yeah, they can't score like the other guys, but they can both play some defense. And on the Utah side, we got Jordan Clarkson still out for the Jazz. Lauri Markkanen listed as questionable. He didn't play last game. Maybe he sits again. I'm definitely taking the points with the Blazers here. I actually think they win this game. I know that's crazy to say the way they've been playing, but I think Portland wins this one, so give me the points definitely. So let's head over to OddsJam, see if we can snag some value, and it looks like our best bet for the Blazers is going to be Portland plus an even 5, minus 110 on FanDuel. So let's lock it in next game.
Update, Lauri Markkanen is going to play for the Jazz. That's big for them. He's probably their best player. Now the line has moved just a little bit, but I'm still on Portland. But now I can get Portland plus 5.5 at minus 110 on Fox Bet and Points Bet. So let's log it in.
Phoenix on the road in LA to play the Lake Show. This is a 10 p.m. start. Total opens up at 227. This line opens up Lakers plus 2. This line is now down at Lakers plus 1. The public was on the Lakers early, but now it seems to be split. Sharp money definitely still leaning LA. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Lakers minus 4.94. So we're looking at a significant lean on most. All right, so DeAndre Ayton is out for Phoenix. Obviously, that's a hit. He's been great this year. That being said, the Suns are 8-2 without him. It's not like this team doesn't know how to win without Ayton. Lakers' defensive numbers are still good, but they dipped a little bit from a few weeks back. They're just 21st at protecting the basket. That's been their weakness in the month of March. So I like Josh Okogie and Torrey Craig both to go over their point totals if you're looking for a prop. Overall, though, I do like this Lakers defense as a unit, and I think they'll hold up here. The thing is, I like the Phoenix Suns defense even more, and I think they hold up even better. I want to bring up the 538 ratings for the Suns here. These are Phoenix Suns players that have played 700 plus minutes this year. Biyombo and Ayton are 11th and 12th analytically, but check it out. Look at the defensive numbers. Both Landale and Biyombo are both in the plus. They both have solid defensive ratings when Ayton is severely in the negative. The point I'm making is the Suns offense definitely takes a hit without Ayton. He's been great on offense, but defensively, the combination of Biyombo and Landale is significantly better. So I'm on the Suns here. I like Phoenix, and I also like the under in this game. So let's head over to OddsJam, see what kind of value we can get on our bets here. Looks like we can get Phoenix -1 at -110 pretty much everywhere, so lock that in on your favorite book. But we can get the under at 230.5 on BetMGM at -110, so I will take that. If anything changes on any of these bets, I will let you know on Twitter, and I'll post it on my Instagram story as well, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the final ticket, which has exactly what I'm betting and how much I'm betting on each game, parlay of the day, top bets, that kind of stuff, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. NBA Wednesday, loaded slate tonight. We're coming off a losing night. First losing night in like 5 days. Doesn't feel good. Let's rebound with a big green night here. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you on Twitter.